Okay, I ended up confusing myself even more, right? I'm thinking about trying to fix this hole, right? And then, well, I came across this small piece of, a small piece of boarding, right? Where it would be a clean, smooth, if it's put in there the right way, right? But then I came across this, which is like $1 more, but this actually looks like what I have in back of the spot that I'm trying to fix, and that's a whole $9. Then, to confuse myself even further than that, I come across the plexiglass, right? And so, like this piece of plexiglass, $49. This piece of plexiglass is $26. You know, to cover up, like if I was to put the window unit in, and then we put the plexiglass over the window unit, because my windows open from side to side, not up and down. And that's how I confused myself, right? So now that I'm so confused, that I'm deciding, to make this, something that I can just look at and then go and see how much, if they have it, the epoxy is here in Home Depot. That's what I want to find out, how much the epoxy is here. And then they have the carpeting. That I could use for the stairs. But that's like, I guess it's $5 a foot? Uh-huh, I think so. And then here were the little mats that I was talking about getting for the dogs, that they could lay on the floors. But I didn't know there was a whole $50. It would be something, hello, it would be something that, yeah, just looking around. Just trying to see, how much, this would cost to, to move forward on my projects. $15 for a clear basket. It's a big one. 27-gallon tote for $15. Well, 16. It's not really 22, 25. And then they have these They're not really carpet, is it? It is kind of like carpet. $17. $24. Whereas something like this is $12, $13 each. So yeah, and then I was thinking, I could get real creative. I have tile, right? And I can put a whole tile patch instead of what I've been thinking about, right? By doing a whole tile patch on the wall, I won't have to spend any money. And then using the tile also as a baseboard. So maybe I'm not using my creative thoughts the way I thought I would be. So oh, these are porcelain. Yeah, we ain't gonna be doing no porcelain anymore. I got enough tile that once it's outdated, what do? Try to rip it up? That's a whole big ass project by itself. So let's see. Let's see if they got epoxy here. Part 1 epoxy right here, $47. And then if you wanted the bigger one, you're going to be looking at least $200. That's a wet look sealer. So yeah, I still have the hallway to do and then the other room to do. So but that's some pretty big containers for real. And the problem with, lugging around big containers like that, let's say somebody just wants to like here, it says epoxy, $99. Okay, I left out of there more confused than when I went in there. And that's partly because the ribbed panel piece, it was easier to work with, but it was more expensive than the sheetrock. So, yeah. And then, even with the plexiglass, we're already into August. The plexiglass would be like $30, right? And I will be cooler for a few months, but I do have a piece of wood that I can put in that place. If I just need to set up the window unit. But I've been going without it so far, and even though it's been hot, for sure it's been hot, I'm just not feeling like it's worth the investment at this time, you know. Now, it will be a lot more work to cut the tile up and put a piece of tile up there, because I can always use a piece of tile. And a piece of tile would be something that, you know, it won't be penetrated by any type of rodent, right? The panel could be, and obviously the sheetrock too, because that's what they ate through. They ate through the sheetrock to get in the house. So it's got me wondering, and I don't mind wondering for a little while. And the weird thing is, they have one position for a cashier position, right? And, you know, it's one position, but I'm telling you, they have more employees than customers inside at Home Depot. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but yeah, it is what it is. So I ended up not buying anything, which is great, because like I said, you know, honestly, I could use panel boarding, and that was one of the reasons why I had grabbed the back of the those two picture frames, because I was like, oh, you know, and the backboard was, you know, somewhat firm, and yeah, and as long as I could screw it on there, you know, or pound it on there, however I decide to put it on there, fix that hole up. And I really do need to fix that hole up pretty darn quick. This week sometime it's gonna be fixed for sure. So I was gonna go ahead and get the piece of sheetrock, right? And then I decided against it. I was like, no, I ain't gonna do a sheetrock. I ain't gonna do it. Because the sheetrock, it's a lot more, detailed. It's a lot more heavy to work with. And then you'll have to do the seams, and this situation is located right behind the sink. So they used what was already an opening and burrowed their way a tunnel through the sheetrock. I was like, what kind of demon rats are these? That's how I felt. Because I ain't got no food in the house for them. But they were eating candles. They were eating, they was trying to eat my dog food. And, they were also trying to eat rice. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you know how you can get those cooling or heating like neck braces? Well, I had one of those, and I didn't know that inside of those was filled with rice until, the rats got to it and they had left a grain or two. I was like, what the hell? What in the hell? Rats from hell. Right? There's eating candle wax. There was eating petrified rice. One of them had even ate my lip gloss. Yes, they even ate the lip gloss. And I was like done. Like, can I just set it on fire? But, the whole thing is that you have to find out where they're coming in at, where they have their nest. And it seems to me they're coming in following the plumbing lines, right? Which means there should be some type of ring, that you could put around the plumbing line, which wasn't put around my plumbing line, to ensure that they don't come in. I was looking on the outside of the house, and I had seen where they were trying to burrow a hole into the outside paneling, and I was like, and it was high up. I might show you when I get home, if it's still light enough. But I'm like, these rats are very strong, pliable, inventive for sure. Very what do they call it? Innovative. They're very innovative, very resourceful. And that had almost had me refusing to even buy my dog food, because they had literally chewed through the dog food containers. And even the container that my daughter had bought me, you can see the scratch marks and the, you know, how they was desperately trying to get through the container to get to the dog food. So it's got scratches and chip marks and stuff like that. But the lid is placed inside of, you know, the lip of the rim, and they can't get through it. But they tried. They definitely tried. But other than that, you know, I was feeding her people food, and even putting her food into smaller containers and putting it in the refrigerator. Yeah. And I still don't understand, because, you know, they can eat nuts galore from the trees outside. That's why I felt like those rats had to be possessed. They had to be possessed. Ain't no way they wasn't possessed. You know, and that's another thing that really makes me afraid about moving abroad, right? That, you know, I know nothing of the type of animals and pests and stuff that live there. Nothing at all. I'm gonna see if this DD's is open. I've never been to this Ollie's. This is supposed to be like a discounted grocery store. I might step in there just to see what that looks like. You know, just sort of checking things out right now, because well, I don't have my dog with me, and I don't feel like going to the house. So let me go check out Ollie's. It says good stuff cheap. Now, I've seen them advertise, right? I've seen them advertise, but I've never been in here. And the only one I had seen before wasn't this close to the house. This one here is very close to the house. So I'm gonna go in here and check out their pricing. See what kind of merchandise they have, because I've never been in here. It says buybacks, closeout, overruns, liquidations, irregulars. Let's see what all of that means. %off of summer stuff. Let's see. We got Nutri-Grain bars. We got Nutri-Grain bars for $2.29. Okay. What else they got? They have fruit cups for 99 cents. Apple and boba. Sour apple and boba. They have canned pears for 79 cents. That sounds like a pretty good deal right there. Canned pears. What else they have? Oh, they got fishing poles. Let's see how much the fishing pole is. Fishing pole with reel. Yeah, fishing pole with reels and string. We have these playful scrunchies, 99 cents. But the fishing pole is $24.99. They got their Halloween stuff out. I don't know what time this store closes. Oh, they have candles. See how much their candles are. We got the Yankee candle for $9.99. Yankee candle for $9.99. Then they have a smaller but wider, and that is for $3.99. What else they got? They had the Glade candle for $4.49. Double pack. Oh, nice. They have pillows. How much is this one? $9.99. Pumpkin spice latte. And that's not even I can't have one that doesn't have a lid on it. That's for sure. Oh. Right, live and learn, for real. $3.99. $4.99. Okay. Lawn care buyouts. So they're selling dirt up in here. Oh, $4.99. For some dirt. What else? Oh, they got some cutting boards. See how much the cutting boards are. $12.99 for that cutting board. $7, $8 for this cutting board. This one is $7 for these cutting boards. Okay. It's looking good in here. They have canning lids. They're $3.99. Okay. Oh, they got yarn. How much is their yarn? $5 for this yarn. And it's so cute too. Make a nice little throw. Nice sweater. Oh, let's see. Got small appliances here. Got a $19 popcorn maker. $19. We got a $39 pizza maker, pizza oven. What else? We got air fryers. How much is the air fryer? $40 for an air fryer. Smokeless grill. How much is the smokeless grill? $50 for the smokeless grill. Coffee press. Cold brew server. How much is that? What? It's $5? Make cold brew at home in 15 minutes. No waiting. Tornado spins coffee grounds through water to make cold brew fast. Smooth, flavorful, no bitterness. The coffee grounds are never exposed to high temperature. Simply fill carafe with water and pour ground coffee. Circulates coffee grounds, complete flavor extraction in 15 minutes. Yeah, $5. Yeah. Almost wanted to buy that one. Oh, look, they got lampshades and everything here. Oh, $9. $10 for that brown lampshade. That's nice. So the lampshades are $9. Unless you get a big square one like this one, then it's $8. Huh. They got mattresses here. We got stools. More candles. Let me over here and see what kind of candle they got going on over here. So this is $1.59. For that much, you could almost buy, yeah, this is 99 cents. Yeah, and he has a plastic top. Yeah, all of them are $1.59. I don't know what time this store closes. What time does this store close? At 9? Okay. What time is it now? Okay, I got 40 minutes. They got flooring here. Look at that. They got flooring here. They got the vinyl. The vinyl. How much is it? For a box? I don't know. Okay. I'll have to replay that to see how much that costs. Whew. More candles. Lots of candles. Look how cute. Dang, a little one like this, $3.99. They got to be kidding. See, I could use something like this to put my shoes in and push underneath the bed. Now how much is that? $10. There's all kinds of nice stuff here. Looks like they got tea, candy. toothbrushes, toothpaste, hairbrushes.
Mami, papi.
Shampoos. Look like they even got some protein drink back here. They do have protein drinks. Pre-workout stuff too. Everything is so small, I can't see. Yeah, I might have to come here for pre-workout if I want some. And Body Fortress for $14, $15. Doggy treats, animal stuff, makeup stuff, blood pressure monitors. Yeah. I don't know why I thought it was like a grocery store, but it's an everything store. Yep, it's definitely an everything store. You can buy some coffee for $7. Oh, they got some puppy training pads. I might need to get some of these when I get my new doggy. Air conditioners, like the window unit, candy. Let's see what kind of food they got here. How much is there? Salsa. What? $1.79. That's a good deal. Some salsa. Peanut butter M&M's, $3.79. Here's the ramen noodles. Okay, we got $3 for how many? 12, a 12 pack. I think I'll buy this because I was talking about it. Because I was talking about it. Then they got this different barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce for $2.50. Big old thing of syrup, light syrup, $1.99. I wonder if they take EBT here. Chocolate oatmeal? I don't know if I heard of no chocolate oatmeal. Chocolate oatmeal? And they have there's honey. Yeah, honey. $3.99. Final selection time. Oh, wow. You know, tomato puree, a big ass can like that. Wow. Prime energy drink. Alright. So it wasn't none of my intention to buy none of the stuff that I got. But I could see if they take EBD, and if they don't, I could just do all of this stuff. Hi, it's my first time here. Do you guys take EBD?
No, ma'am.
No, it has to be cash
Yes, cash or card?
or card.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. It's such a good deal. Actually, it's all a good deal, right?